Hi viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel Cornerstring. My name is Vikrant, and in this video I'm going to talk about Selenium WebDriver, right? I've splitted this video in three sections. In this section one, this will be the introduction to Selenium. In section two, we'll cover the Selenium WebDriver architecture, and in the section three, we'll make our hands dirty and we'll write up the code to open up the browser automatically with the help of Selenium and Python. Okay, so let's talk about introduction to Selenium first. So first thing first, that what is Selenium, right? So Selenium is an open source tool. Definitely there's no license and cost involved to it, which increases the adoption of the Selenium for the commercial and the personal use, right? So it's an open source umbrella project for a range of tools and libraries aimed at supporting browser automation, and it's a single interface that allows users to write test cases, test scripts, code in multiple programming languages such as Java, Perl, Ruby, Python, PHP, Node.js, C, etc. Right? Because it's not possible to for everyone to know each and every language, right? So it gives you the flexibility to write up your code in the language in which you are comfortable with, right? So the third point is automation testing suite for web applications across different browsers and platforms. It's not limited to the Chrome browser only, but you can do your browser automation for the Firefox, for your Bing, for your Safari, etc. Right? And tests can be performed on any of the operating system, for the Windows as well, for the Linux as well, and for the Mac as well. And Selenium automates browser. So in short, in totality, if I cover it in three words, then Selenium automates browser. So it's totally depend on the user how they would like to leverage this power of web automation, right? So it's not limited that you can only write up the test cases only where you get the results in the form of the pass and fail, but you can use it for the web scraping, for the administration task. For example, let's say that you work in any of the process where you get the let's say 1,000 transactions on the day-to-day basis, where you have to write up the customer last name, customer first name, customer telephone number, customer acquisition date, and what they have ordered, and ABC extra, right? So you have to fill like 20 to 20 to 30 inputs for one customer on your web platform, right? And there are like 1,000 transactions which you have to complete by end of the day. So for to complete this administrative work, this is completely tedious, monotonous, I would say, right? You have to perform the daily same set of the activity, repetitive steps in order to complete your goal, right? So for those kind of the projects, you can start with the Selenium web automation, where you can do the web scraping, where you can do the inputs, and then just use those particular fields with the fill those particular fields with the help of the Selenium. So this is just one of an example. You can think about other opportunities as well in your business, right? Few points to remember: we cannot perform mobile application testing with the help of the Selenium, one of the limitation, and it does not support testing of Windows application. So Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and PowerPoint, right? So we cannot use it for the testing of the Windows applications, and it does not support automation of video and audio elements as well, and it doesn't actually manage the pop-ups as well quite efficiently, right? So these are the few limitations of the Selenium. Now coming on to the Selenium tools. So Selenium test suite, it comprises of the four tools: Selenium IDE, which stands for the integrated development environment; Selenium remote control; Selenium WebDriver; and Selenium Grid. So, however, in this video, this topic will be totally centered around Selenium WebDriver. So, we'll be doing a lot of discussion on this particular point. But just to give you the gist of other tools as well, let me open the Selenium website. So here you can see that the Selenium IDE, if you want to create a quick bug reproduction scripts, create scripts to aid in automation aided exploratory testing, then you want to use the Selenium IDE. A Chrome, Firefox, and Edge add-on that will do a simple record and play work of interaction with the browser. And in the Selenium Grid, if you want to scale by distributing and running tests on several machines and manage multiple environments from a central point, making it easy to run the tests against a vast combination of browser or operating system, then you want to use the Selenium Grid. Now coming back to the Selenium WebDriver, the important topic for this video. I'm quickly moving to the section 2, which is the Selenium WebDriver architecture. So starting with what is Selenium WebDriver, right? So please pay close attention here because from this point video is going very interesting, and there are a lot of questions interviewer used to ask from this topic, right? So Selenium WebDriver, it refers to both the language bindings and the implementations of the individual browser controlling code. WebDriver perform actions on web elements, right? And it easily get integrated with framework like testing and JUnit for the test and the performance management, right? Now covering onto the Selenium WebDriver architecture, so it comprises of the four components. One is the Selenium language bindings client, Selenium client, and then there comes the JSON buyer protocol over HTTP, and then there comes the drivers, and then there comes the real browsers. Okay, so what is Selenium test script? So as I said, that Selenium allows the users to write up the code in any of their favorite programming languages such as Python, C, or PHP, Ruby, etc., right? So you can write up the code in any of the language in this and write the Selenium test script. Now, what is the role of the JSON buyer protocol over HTTP? It's a transport mechanism, or you can say that it's a medium to communicate or transfer the data between a client and a server, right? So in this scenario, in the Selenium WebDriver architecture, this is your client, right? So this is your client and this is a server, and JSON buyer protocol, what it's doing, it's a transport mechanism. Whatever the communication which is happening between the client and server, encoding and the decoding, it's happening with the help of the JSON wire protocol over HTTP, right? And for the browser drivers, it's created this secure connection with the real browser. So for each browser we have different drivers. So for the Chrome we have the Chrome driver, for the Firefox we have the Gecko, for the Edge we have Edge driver, for Safari we have Safari driver, for Internet Explorer we have IE driver. Okay, so browser drivers, they create the secure connection with the real browser, the communication method between the client libraries and the drivers. It helps to run the Selenium commands on the browser. Okay, now in a summary, if I tell you about that how actually this whole architecture actually work, so the Selenium library, this one, right, this will connect with the Selenium API, which sends the programming language action to the browser driver via the JSON. Okay. Now the commands are sent in the form of the JSON request. Okay, where the protocol converts them to the HTTPS requests. Okay, the browser driver will then use this HTTP server to get the request and send it to the server, where it refines the actions need to be performed. Okay, so encode and the decode is happening with the help of the this one JSON. Okay, so this was the picture till Selenium 3.8. In Selenium 4.0, what's happening actually, so we do not need the JSON buyer protocol over HTTP. This has been replaced by W3C. Okay, so what is W3C? Just think about the quality management system, right? So for the quality management system we have the ISO 9001 certification, right? International Standard of Organization 9001 for the quality management system. In the same way, for the W3C, the Worldwide Web Consortium, it develops the standards and guidelines to help everyone build a web based on the principle of accessibility, internationalization, privacy, and security, right? So, as the Selenium client library uses the JSON protocol and the web browser, right? It uses the W3C protocol. API encoding and decoding was needed in the entire process, right? So now what's happening in the 4.0 and onwards? Now almost all browser and language bindings use the W3C, right? So your browser Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, IE, these use the W3C, okay? And these driver also use the W3C. Now what's happening that as almost all browser and language bindings use the W3C, communication becomes much easier between the client and the server. Okay, okay. So in Selenium 4.0, release is W3C World Web Consortium protocol and it's compliant. In Selenium 4, WebDriver W3C protocol replaced the JSON buyer protocol. It's similar to that, two-person talking to each other in the same language. Earlier, what was happening? The JSON buyer protocol was playing the role of the API, right? So just to give you an example, let's say that you have planned for the dinner today in the restaurant, and you have visited the restaurant, and you have seated in the reserved table for you. Now the first thing that will happen, the waiter will come and will ask for the uh, food items which you would like to order, right? And now that order will get passed through the kitchen. The kitchen staff, they will start preparing the order, and the waiter will lift that order and he will serve the food on your table. Now here the waiter is actually playing the role of the API. Okay, you're not going to the kitchen, you're just giving your order to the waiter. Now waiter is going to the kitchen, and kitchen staff, they started preparing the order. Once the order is completed, waiter lifted that order from the kitchen and served the food on your table, right? So the role which waiter actually played in this whole scenario is the API, and you are the client here, and the kitchen staff, they are the driver. In the same way, JSON wire protocol used to work till Selenium 3.8. Okay, I hope with this example it's quite clear that what is the change that has been done in the Selenium 4 and how the model actually was working till Selenium 3.8. Let me move to the section 3, which is the important aspect of this video. So let's start up with writing up the code in PyCharm. We'll create one new Python file. Let's name it WebDriver. Okay. Uh, Click on the settings, and then in the Python interpreter, click on the plus icon here, and you can install the Selenium package here. But in my scenario, it's already installed. That's the reason I'm getting the Selenium printed in the blue font. Uh, if you would like to install, then click on the install package, and this should suffice the need. All right. So I'm just uh, typing the code here from Selenium import WebDriver from Selenium dot WebDriver import Chrome from Selenium dot WebDriver dot Chrome dot options import options from Selenium dot WebDriver dot Chrome dot service import service. So the prerequisite steps are completed till here. Now the URL, I'm going to use a URL censusindia.gov.in, a public website. Okay. Now, first of all, let's create one instance for the Chrome options. Chrome options is equal to options, and then Chrome options dot add experimental option detach and then true. Okay, so why I have written Chrome option dot add experimental option detach true? So once the script, it gets executed properly, right? uh, dot add experimental option will not allow your browser window to close automatically. It will keep your browser window open even after the end of the successful execution of your code. Okay, now we'll create driver instance, uh, driver, and then your Chrome, your service is equal to service, and then your options is equal to your Chrome options. Okay, and then you can, or in this way, Chrome option, and then driver dot get your URL. Okay, point to remember here, this line of code, driver is equal to Chrome service, this one will work perfectly for the Selenium 4.10 version and onwards. However, for other version, I will write up another code here. Okay, so let's see whether it's working or not. Yes. So you can see that Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. And by default, when Selenium opens up any browser, maybe the Chrome or the Firefox, it opens up without any extension or history or cookies. Right now, this Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. These info bars you can disable or you can alter these info bars with the help of the options, Chrome options. Okay, so now here the censusindia.gov.in, it's getting opened. Yeah, website is quite happy, so that's why it's taking uh, a time here. Let's wait. Yes, so the code worked properly till here. Congratulations. I'm just closing up the browser here. All right. Now we'll write up another code here. Driver is equal to your WebDriver dot Chrome, and then your service is equal to your service, and then your executable path is equal to. So what is executable path? uh, so you can download the Chrome WebDriver as well from this particular website, chrome chromedriver.chromium.org downloads. You can check for the version of the Google Chrome you are using in your system. So for me, it's like 115.05790.110, right? So whatever the version it's you are using in your system, you can go and click on the Chrome driver here and then download the exe file basis on your computer operating system. So I'm using the Windows, so I can, you know, download the Chrome driver Win32 zip file and save it on my system, and then the same reference I can use in the executable path. Okay, so here executable path dot driver, or will write in this way, dot then your driver, and then under driver here you can see the Chrome, right? So Chrome driver dot exe, and then options is equal to uh, Chrome options. Perfect. And then driver dot get URL. Now I'm not considering these line of the code, and what I'm doing in the end, I'm maximizing the window. So driver dot maximize window, and this is the second way how you can open up any browser automatically, right? So the thing is here, the this line of code can be get used multiple times because this is the foundation to open up any URL in your system, right, while performing the web scraping, right? So this code is completely reusable. You can use it for other automations as well. Okay, let me click on the run button and see if it's working as per the expectation or not. Yes. Yeah, so this should now actually maximize my window. Ministry of Home Affairs and Government of India. Yeah, all right. Yes. So the window has been maximized accordingly. So that's all. That's all, right? And it's quite simple. So I hope you have found this video informative. So please do like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for all upcoming videos notification. And definitely this will motivate me to bring more useful and learning content like this. Thank you for watching and bye bye.